Hey everyone, this is Rod. I hope you're doing well out there. So today I was going to talk to you about the writing is on the wall. And what I'm talking about is you see numerous people out there now who have the conspiracy theories, the voter fraud, who were putting hate out there, violence, that kind of thing. People are no longer wanting to accept that. They're no longer listening to that. They're becoming immune to that. So, there's three examples I have. First of all, Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of them. She talks about hate. She puts other Congress people, her peers, on some account that she has, and she says negative things about them. She talks about conspiracy theories, voter fraud, all these things, and these things aren't true. These things are fake. They're hateful, and Congress doesn't have room for that, or they don't have time for that. We're trying to solve real problems. They're not trying to solve fake problems. One of the problems with these situations is that it creates a problem that doesn't exist. There's no voter fraud, but when you talk about it, now you create a problem that doesn't exist. These conspiracy theories that people bring up, whatever they are, you're creating a problem that doesn't exist. They're not even real problems, but now we make them as if they're real problems. That's the problem with that. So when you have Marjorie Taylor Greene on these committees that they conduct, they don't need problems that aren't real. They don't need her to bring fake problems to these committees that don't even exist. So yeah, they had to get rid of her. So they got her off these committees. And the problem with her is, and I say the writing's on the wall, is that it's like you can see it happening right now. So they eliminated her from the committees, letting you know they don't accept that. They don't appreciate that. The country is not in agreement with this. And if they continue that rhetoric, it's just going to be worse and worse for them. They're going to get more excluded. They're not going to be able to make headway. Their careers are going to be ruined as far as politics, and maybe in other areas too, because the writing's on the wall. People are not accepting this, and that's what we got to look at. You look at those who stormed the Capitol. They thought they were big heroes. They stormed the Capitol. Whatever it was, whatever they think they were trying to do, the country does not accept it. The country does not accept it. We don't believe in it. This is not how we do things. And now they're getting rounded up. They're being labeled terrorists. They're hiding in their homes. They won't even do interviews. People come to their houses. They won't even do interviews. Before they were talking, all the big talk, what they're going to do, war, whatever it is that the rhetoric that they were doing, and now they won't even come out of their house. It's like the writing's on the wall of what's going to happen to these type of people. The writing's on the wall. Then you look at Canada. Canada does something interesting. They have labeled the QAnon group as a terrorist group. And that's fascinating because they're not accepting this either, the conspiracy theories, the violence. Whatever it is, they're not accepting it. They're not even pretending to accept it. They squashed it. They're squashing it. And this country is going to do the same thing. As soon as Biden gets his footing and we get some other things under control, they're going to do the exact same thing. You can see it. The writing's on the wall. Then we come to Josh Hawley. And he's been talking to rhetoric about the voter fraud and trying to appeal to some base. And he doesn't feel like a solid leader, because it doesn't feel like this is really how he feels. He's just saying what he thinks he needs to get a base going or something. And that's the problem with some leaders. We need solid leaders. That's what I liked about Biden. Whether you like Biden or not, I liked that about Biden. When he was running, he told you exactly what he was running for. He says Black Lives Matter. He says there's systemic racism. He says that Trump is the worst president that he's ever seen. He says that he's going to put a woman vice president in. He said, just before he even got voted, it could have cost everything. It was just he and Trump. It could have cost everything. He could have lied a little bit and said anything so he can get votes. He didn't even do that. He said just what he was going to do, and you vote for him or you're not. A lot on the line. But some of these politicians like Josh Hawley, they just don't do that. And that's why the writing's on the wall for them, because they're putting themselves in a box where eventually They're going to get excluded by either the Senate and Congress or by the public, whatever the situation is. And they're not going to be able to come back later. That's what someone want to do. They want to come back later and try to rewrite it, the lie, and say, that's not what I meant. I was for the people, these kind of things. That's how they play it. That's how they describe it. But it's not true. We know it's not true. We know it's just another lie. And that's what makes some of those people dangerous, in my opinion. Not because they do the lie, but because there's people out there that believe them. So yeah, the writing's on the wall. And that's all I have for you today. Peace and hope, everyone.